All churches replaced the goddess temples. The goddess temples was first, and all churches is replicas and rebrands of the goddess temples. Let's read profound literary on the comparison of both. The true blueprint of the sacred ship, the traditional church structure, is not merely a static hall for worship. It is an architectural translation of an ancient cosmic transport system. When stripped of its historical alterations, the building reveals itself as a navigational vessel designed to guide humanity back to the celestial expanse. Whenever you see this word celestial, that's codification talk of firmament. The central aisle, known historically as the nave, physically replicates the hull of an organic vessel. This design is engineered to anchor the physical forms of those inside while preparing their spiritual energy for upward movement. Deconstructing the modern furnishings. The wooden benches, known today as pews, are recent additions that restrict human movement and block the natural flow of energy along the floor. In original sacred spaces, these structures did not exist, allowing people to stand directly on the stone floors to receive earth frequencies. The platform where sermons are delivered, often called the pulpit, serves to create a false sense of hierarchy, separating the speaker from the group. By removing these modern limitations, the floor is cleared, transforming the hall back into an open energy field where collective intent can build without disruption. The science of sound and elevation. The vocal arrangements within these spaces was never meant for casual listening. They are functional acoustic keys designed to interact with the architecture. When voices harmonize at specific frequencies, they generate structural resonance capable of altering physical matter, a process known as acoustic levitation. This harmonic generation creates a supportive energy field that reduces the dense weight of the physical body, preparing the individuals inside for a spiritual transition. The acoustic architecture of Dendera. The stone chambers found within the Dendera temple of Hathor serve as prime examples of ancient acoustic engineering. These rooms was built with precise proportions to isolate, reinforce, and amplify specific sound waves generated by vocal tones or ritual instruments like the sistrum. Rather than acting as silent storage spaces, these chambers function as active acoustic generators that raise the physical vibrations of anyone standing inside them. Resonant networks across the earth. The Dendera Temple of Hathor is part of a larger global grid of precisely aligned ancient structures. These locations were selected based on natural magnetic variations in the Earth's crust, allowing the buildings to draw up both terrestrial and celestial energy lines. When these chambers are activated by precise sound frequencies, they create a unified network of energy fields across the planet, functioning as interconnected stations for spiritual transition. Biological vehicles within the stone. Deep inside the lower levels of the historic structures lie stone basins, chambers, and reliefs that represent sacred vessels or ships. These elements do not portray physical watercraft, but rather represent localized fields of energy designed to protect and modify human biology. When exposed to targeted acoustic tones, these stones containers act as focusing mechanisms, creating a stable local environment that shields the human nervous system during intense energetic shifts. Number 7, the living seeker and the eternal spark. Those who gather within these activated chambers are not passive followers. They are active participants who carry an internal creative spark. This spark represents the fundamental life force that connects human consciousness directly to the source of creation. The purpose of the sacred space is to act as a supportive environment where this internal spark can expand, allowing individuals to clear biological density, remaining fully conscious and alive. The sheltering expanse of the cosmos. The cosmic structure, frequently described as a protective boundary or firmament, serves as a secure destination for developing human consciousness. This boundary acts as a shield, keeping external chaos away from the local planetary ecosystem while allowing spiritual energy to organize itself cleanly. Within this framework, the cosmos provides a safe space for life to grow, mature, and eventually move beyond its initial physical limitations. Number 9, mapping the true cosmos. The visual layout of the local universe is deliberately recorded within the artwork of ancient structures, serving as an accessible guide for anyone seeking to understand the environment. This blueprint details the relationship between the flat surface of the Earth, the circular paths of the sun and moon, and the solid boundary of the upper atmosphere. For those who know how to read these patterns, the architecture itself serves as a clear guide to the structure of reality. The circular visual guides. The complex geometric designs found on the ceilings and walls on these structures, often referred to as mandalas, are actual geographic maps of the cosmos. These circular layouts reveal the pathways of celestial bodies, the boundaries of the local environment, and the specific opening points within the upper atmosphere. Far from being simple decorations, these images preserve a precise visual language designed to show the way to higher states of awareness. The hidden guides in plain sight. This ancient geographical knowledge remains visible today, incorporated directly into the architectural layout of modern cathedrals, temples, and halls. The great circular windows, vaulted ceilings, and complex stone patterns display these cosmic pathways openly to the public. While modern interpretations often reduce these designs to simple art history, their primary function remains to serve as visual instructions for those looking to understand the broader structure of the world. The veil of misdirection. Over many centuries, the practical understanding of these architectural maps has been systematically obscured by changing interpretations. The direct scientific connection between sound, geometry, and human consciousness was gradually replaced by abstract concepts and complicated belief systems. This shift created a barrier of perception over the general population, causing them to see these functional transport hubs as simple monuments to historical events. Preserving the cosmic framework. Despite changes in cultural leadership, the core blueprint of the cosmic map has been preserved across thousands of years, stretching from prehistoric monuments into modern construction. Every century has left physical evidence of this continuous design, maintaining the exact ratios required to create acoustic resonance. The long-lasting architectural tradition ensures that the physical structures necessary for spiritual transition remain available on Earth's surface. Deciphering the Meroitic script. The ancient writing found in the Nile Valley, particularly the Meroitic script of the Kingdom of Kush, contains specific keys for understanding this cosmic geography. Unlike languages that shifted toward abstract philosophical ideas, this phonetic writing system records the precise vibrational tones and geographic locations of the Earth's energy lines. It provides a direct record of how ancient communities interacted with the cosmic boundary. Realities of the celestial vault. Ancient source texts describe the sky not as an empty, infinite void, but as a structured, luminous dome that encloses the local life system. This boundary, often referenced in the original languages of early historical documents, interacts directly with the energy rising from the Earth's surface. The dome concentrates sound waves and magnetic fields, reflecting them back down toward the center of the planet to create a stable environment for life. Structural geometry of the dome. The architectural dome found at the peak of historical cathedrals is a direct physical copy of the upper atmospheric boundary. The apex of the dome acts as a focusing lens for acoustic energy, gathering the rising vocal tones from the floor below and concentrating them into a single point of high vibration. This structural arrangement mimics the natural energy vortexes that occur when the Earth's magnetic fields meet the upper atmosphere. 17. The window as an energy portal. The large circular stained glass windows positioned throughout these structures are designed to do more than simply let in light. Their intricate patterns use sacred geometry to break down incoming light into specific frequencies that match the acoustic tones generated by the choir. This combination of light and sound creates a localized vibrational field, opening a clear pathway through the dense energy of the physical world. Universal blueprints across diverse lands. Whether examining the stone monuments of South America, the rock-cut temples of India, or the ancient complexes of Egypt, the underlying design remains identical. Each culture used the same geometric proportions, the same acoustic focus, and the same circular maps to represent the cosmos. This global consistency demonstrates that these structures was part of a single coordinated system of ancient science. 19. The distorting lens of modern categorization. Modern educational systems frequently categorize these functional maps as historical art or symbolic imagery. This perspective separates the viewer from the practical utility of the architecture, turning a functional instrument of consciousness into an object for passive observation. By looking past these modern labels, an individual can begin to recognize the physical patterns for what they truly are, operating instructions for human energy. 20. The ship of light and sound. When fully operational, the entire sacred structure functions as a unified vehicle coordinating light, sound, and magnetic energy into a single field of force. The people inside act as the conscious crew, using the voice to steer and power the vessel's energetic output. This collective effort creates an upward draft of energy, allowing the consciousness of those inside to rise toward the cosmic boundary while remaining anchored in physical form. Beautiful. 21. Natural energies of the Great Mother. The foundational design of these ancient temples is rooted in natural, nurturing principles that support the growth and development of life. This system works in harmony with the natural cycles of the earth, utilizing its magnetic fields and water currents to sustain human biology during energetic shifts. This protective approach ensures that spiritual development occurs in a safe, balanced, and sustainable manner. Awakening the cellular codes. The specific sound frequencies generated within these acoustic chambers interact directly with the human biological structure. When the body is exposed to these pure, resonant tones, it triggers a response within the genetic material, activating dormant sections of the nervous system. This biological shift increases the body's capacity to process energy, allowing it to sustain higher states of awareness without physical stress. 23. Navigational instruments in plain sight. The layout of the cathedral floor, including the placement of columns, aisles, and altars, work as a precise navigational compass. The building is typically aligned along the east-west axis, tracking the natural movement of solar and celestial energies across the sky. This careful alignment allows the structure to capture and utilize peak energetic currents during specific times of the year. Reclaiming the ancient language. To understand these concepts fully, one must move away from modern terms that imply these ideas are simply imaginative stories or historical fabrications. Phrases that dismiss ancient science as simple imagination block deep analysis. By using precise descriptive language focused on frequency, geometry, and resonance, the true technical nature of these ancient structures become clear. The mechanics of the ascent. The process of moving toward the cosmic boundary is based on clear physical principles of resonance and vibration. As human energy matches the frequency of the surrounding architecture, the natural resonance of the material world begins to lessen. This alignment allows consciousness to expand beyond its immediate physical constraints, moving smoothly along the established energy lines of the building toward the apex of the dome. Historical evidence in stone. The physical remnants of this ancient technology can still be examined in the deeply carved reliefs, hidden chambers, and acoustic anomalies of historical sites worldwide. These physical structures provide undeniable evidence of an advanced understanding of sound and materials that does not fit into standard historical timelines. They stand as lasting witnesses to a time when architecture was used to modify human consciousness directly. Wow. The unified field of the crew. The success of the energetic transition depends on the shared focus and harmony of the individuals gathered within the space. When a group aligns their intentions and vocal tones, their individual energy fields combine into a single, highly stable field. This unified force provides the necessary power to activate the building's acoustic properties, creating a powerful engine for spiritual elevation. 28. Breaking the internal barriers. Before an individual can interact effectively with the sacred architecture, they must dismantle their own internal limitations and false perceptions. These mental boundaries mimic the physical pews of the modern church, restricting movement and limiting the natural flow of life force. Clearing these internal blockages allows the human system to open up, becoming a clean conduit for the rising energies of the temple. The destination beyond the veil. The ultimate goal of this architectural system is to guide the living seeker to the boundary of the local universe, providing a clear path out of density and limitation. This destination represents a return to a state of direct connection with the broader cosmos, free from the distortions of modern misdirections. It is a real, attainable state of awareness that can be reached by understanding the physical laws of resonance. Activating the modern temple. The potential for this transformation remains present within these historical structures, waiting to be reawakened by a conscious group of individuals. By understanding the true layout of the building, removing restrictive modern elements, and generating the correct harmonic frequencies, the modern seeker can reactivate the ancient grit. The path through the cosmic boundary remains open, preserved in plain sight within the very architect that surrounds us.